Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review for The Walking Dead, Season 11, Episode 8, the quarter season finale. I forget what this episode's for. What is it called? Oh, it's For Blood. This episode is For Blood. And yes, this was another, season finale type episode of The Walking Dead. I'm struggling with what to say right here at the beginning, but we will be talking all about this episode tonight. I'm not alone, of course. I have with me Joe Dirtylocks. How's it going tonight, Joe?
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic? Why is it fantastic? Because we're done with this half season, because this is the final time that we're going to talk about The Walking Dead this year.
Maybe.
Maybe. Very much, maybe. And we not alone, as always. Of course, we have with us the live motherfucking chat. We got Jason Voorhees, we got Jesse, we got Atari Dad, we got the real YT, we got Christian, we've got all of our friends popping in and out tonight, listening to us babbling and trying to come up with fun stuff and good stuff to talk about this episode of The Walking Dead. Do you know what? I'll start off with this one. There was a lot of flashy stuff in this episode. My eye holes felt good watching the flashy stuff. I think I'm broken, Joe. I watched this episode, and maybe it's me. I had to question myself, because this was obviously the big lead up, the big conclusion for everything that they've been building this season with Pope. We got to a point where we're going to have a grand finale type episode, and
I liked it.
And I did not. So tell me what you liked about this episode, Joe. I'm curious.
I liked that she killed them.
Okay,
no fucking time. And it was just that. It was, boom, done. Step on them in a fucking puddle.
I did like that scene. I liked the way that played out, and how the Leah situation ended up finishing off, because I wasn't quite knowing what to expect with it. I kept expecting her to kill herself and be actually a devout Pope person, way into this guy. And when he dies, they all take the cyanide pills and fall down or something. But I did like how she handled that. To your point before, are you saying were you surprised by the way that the situation ended with Leah killing him and then blaming it on Daryl? Did you enjoy that conclusion to that situation? No, I guess not. I kind of did. That's the part of the episode I enjoyed. I didn't hate the way that ended up finishing off with there, but for the most part,
she was like, "Oh, Daryl did it, really?"
Yeah.
It
wasn't what I expected it to be, but what I really didn't like about this episode was more Muppet babies. We got a lot more Muppet babies.
What I don't understand is this: why is protecting my family got to be about killing your family now? Still,
because she's pissed that Daryl lied to her.
But did Daryl lie to her? When did Daryl fucking lie to her?
He pretended to be on the side of the Reaper team. He lied to her.
But everything he did, according to what she knows and what he's done since they've met back up, right? Even cut off one of those dudes' fingers. I don't know him that well. I just don't want to torture him too much, right? Whatever. Was on her side,
right?
And when the opportunity finally presented itself, when he was finally psycho enough, and now he's killed 2 people, and I'm sure that you think he's psycho too. Listen, sweetheart, seeing those walkers down there doing that, I know what's going on. Those are my other people. I lied to you about knowing them for how long? What?
I think it wasn't.
Because you're going to kill me if I didn't. Hello? What the fuck disconnect do you have there? Why would I tell you? I'm going to tell you the truth, and then y'all are going to fucking torture me. Or I can lie and try to get the fuck away from you. Hello?
I also think part of it was that she feels like he's prioritizing them over her, and that he didn't tell her the truth, that after a certain amount of time he could have had an opportunity, maybe right there where you're saying, where he was up against it, but then after the fact,
3 days.
Has it been? Hasn't been a month?
So it's been a month. We still got to get that food back to, they're going to die without it. A month later. No, it can't be more than like 2 days.
Or what's his name? The dude that Maggie and Negan left bleeding in the
in the church?
in that building. Yeah, what was his name? Hayden or Naden or
I don't know. Did we ever see a conclusion with him?
No. He's just sitting.
No, he's just still sitting in the
He's
church,
just sitting there.
waiting for bad guys or zombies.
Yeah. He's what's up, The Walking David? We got a voicemail from The Walking David. We'll be playing in a moment here. I'm looking at the. I have a guest. I have a house guest of a puppy that I'm looking at, trying to make sure he's not doing anything weird. He's looking like a crazed psychopath right now, like he's about to destroy something over there. So if I run away in a second or anytime during the show, Joe's gonna take over festivities, and I'm gonna go handle the business with the puppy dog. So I don't know. I hear you where some parts of this episode maybe weren't boring. At least, it was it kept you entertained for the most part. But some of Pope's dialogue and
it was awful. It was awful.
Some of the worst stuff ever on the show. Worst.
It's reminiscent of all of Negan's speeches.
The worst of it.
Thrown in with either like I don't know, God shit. Fucking awful. Awful. Yes, Wildlife. I watched that shit like on day one. It dropped way before this whole Squid Games craze. I was all in on that. As soon as
you were into the
band.
You were into the band before they made it big, right?
I was on the wagon first, man. I was gonna mention it 2 weeks ago when we didn't have the show. But if we had the show that night, buddy, I would have mentioned it then.
I think he can hear you through the headphones, and he's like, "Where is he? I don't know where that strange voice is coming from. Come on, buddy, come here. He's right here." 2 voicemails for The Walking David. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet, but I've heard a lot of people suggest it to me, and I will take a look at it at some point in time. It does look interesting from the preview, at least. Hey, we got Bridge 4 in the live motherfucking chat. Is Maggie's full name Margaret, or is she Maggie? I think all we've heard is Maggie up until this point.
I saw the question. I was wondering myself, did we ever see like Herschel talk to her
and say,
"Listen, Margaret," or any kind of shit like that?
I think he said Maggie. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's ever been anything but Maggie. How you doing, David?
And great to see Bridge 4. Phil, let's see. Atari Dad, Ghost is a good name. You should absolutely. Ghost is a great name. Pope was great in the TV series. Happy. To be honest, I didn't expect Pope to die
Happy
like
was
that.
Fucking amazing. Happy was one of Stabler's best fucking works. Same with what's his name, the voice there of Happy, Patton Oswalt. Just fantastic. Dude, Smiley or whatever his name is in that was freaking incredible. Also,
Chris, is that Chris Maloney series?
Chris Maloney, yes. Oh God, it's so good. It's disturbingly good.
Gregory called her Margaret. Oh yes, the dick, the dude that was in charge of the hilltop there would say, "Listen, Margaret," and I don't remember if she at one point said, "My name isn't Margaret, it's Maggie." Could you?
Probably. Or no, I think he was like, "Don't call me baby." He was like a baby, honey, sweetie.
Hey. Sorry, everybody. Now you're playing with a rock. The dog.
Hey there, sweetie. Hey, would you get me some whiskey? Hey there, cinnamon. Hey there, baby. Hey there, Tootsie Pop. Hey there, my name is Maggie. Yeah, I think he might have called her Margaret too, but like.
Yeah, but in an insulting Margaret.
Of course,
dude.
I mean, like he was a dick to begin with, Gregory.
So let's play David's 2 voicemails to start the night out. See if Dave can bring some interesting perspective.
Dave, what you got to say?
Let's see what David has to say. We got 2 messages from David. Let's check it out.
Are you sure they're from David? He's got a lot of contacts out there.
Possible. I think I fucked it all up.
Phil, fucking it, the pooch.
I fucked it all up because I muted it. Wait, I'm on tilt. The new dog's putting me on tilt. He doesn't like the show. So let's go. Here we go.
All I have to say to AMC showrunners is we've killed The Walking Dead. We have thrown it into the fire. Are you not ashamed?
So we actually have our star.
Was that? Wait a second. Was that Herbert from Family Guy?
No, I think
called in?
I know. I think we actually had Pope call, like,
Pope. Okay.
We're like the Talking Dead, dude. We get the character that dies at the end. Oh, we got another one. We got another one from Dave. Let's play.
You know, a lot of people keep wondering, is the show going to get any better?
No.
What I always ask them is, can you run faster than you did 10 years ago? That's your answer.
Good fucking question.
Good fucking question.
All right.
My answer is yes, I can.
I'll be seeing you.
Rule number what is it? Rule number 1 or rule number 3? Cardio.
I guess you can probably run faster than you could. You can definitely run.
Oh, I definitely can.
You can run
Faster
longer
and further. Well, 10 years ago, I weighed 100 pounds, fucking more, too.
It's true. You were carrying a lot more weight. So, I don't know. The group of Pope seems too dumb to be around for so long. So many of this group of Pope's guys to be this much in control and have so much going on so much of the time of this episode. And I know that it gets explained at the end with the king explanation that they did the whole thing with them dressing up like whispers and doing that to show how much they've learned from their enemies, and how the first time that our heroes encountered the whispers, they were thrown off balance, and Maggie and Negan and team were going into a situation where they were madly outnumbered, so the only way to handle it was doing a whisper tactic. I don't hate that in practice.
I liked that.
Right, I don't hate that in practice.
That's learning something. That's bringing in knowledge from the past, which they've done before, and what they'll do again is they'll just forget it. I mean, like,
yeah, they'll conveniently forget it later.
Wouldn't it have been smart to like throw some extra guts on your fucking clothes and shit?
No, we needed to be able to spot them in a crowd.
Still, like, learn a fucking lesson. Like, take the extra fucking step to paste some fucking guts on you, so that you don't get accidentally fucking eaten. Like, I'm sorry, have we not, like, is fresh blood leaking out of their legs and shit? It's not going to attract them towards you?
And is somehow dressing up like a whisper keeps you out of a minefield?
Right? Like at least you keep putting that, like...
Are the mines that obviously placed on the ground that if you're not a walker, you won't run into them? Was that what was going on? Because I couldn't see on my screen. Were Negan and Gabriel and Maggie able to spot the mines visually and walk around them? Was that why they didn't set off any mines? That wasn't clear to me. That when we turned around and saw, oh my God, our heroes are in a minefield, it never seemed, except for that 1 second.
Well, here's the thing:
they caught some shrapnel, and
with a minefield, you use it like a moat, like a belt. You don't put it directly up against your wall either. You leave a little slack. You have room to walk between your wall and your minefield, and so you have a perimeter that's safe. So eventually, the minefield ends. It stops exploding, and if you send enough zombies like forward from your herd, like, you should be able to, like, clear that minefield, no problem, right? And then I was thinking that too, Chalk Boy. Yeah, there could have been claymores also, which are tripwire set, which they could avoid and only explode in a particular direction. Well, that will create ground walking zombies, and they're more for maiming rather than like. Same thing with these mines. Like, all you're doing is just creating half zombie. Like, you're not killing the fucking zombies.
No,
you're just making them ankle biters.
So parts of this episode weren't incredibly horrible, but certain parts just got me to the point where they just bored me or destroyed me in a way.
All the Disney shit, all the fucking.
Okay, well, we're gonna get to the Muppet Babies in a second, but I'm not done. Wait, but I'm not done with this other side, with this Pope and all of his sort of shit. Like, the scenes with him talking and the way they drew out his situation were horrible. I don't buy that this is the first time he's that like this is the changeover in him after X amount of years that we've been in this thing, that finally now his brain is shifting over to get that
where he's killing his own guy.
That's what I'm saying. That is the terrible TV trope that we got in this episode of The Walking Dead. I'm going to start making a list. Terrible TV trope 10,158, when the main bad guy finally goes too far and fires on his own people, his underlings finally rise up against him. We've seen it in like a Star Trek. We've seen it in this. We've seen it in
everything.
Sir, our people are over there. We saw it in Braveheart. Yeah, we started Braveheart. Longshanks, I don't care. What the fuck that? We've seen it in everything. It makes you see that the bad guy's even worse. Not only that, we got a scene in this episode where we find out Pope choked out a dog. Just because we got to know how awful he is. Yeah, and you know, like, just in case you didn't know he was the bad guy, he choked out a dog. Like, didn't just shoot it, like, physically, he's like, I had to choke out that dog and kill it with that stupid dog story that just came out of nowhere just to give him more fucking dialogue to chew on. It's like, everything with him was horrible. What I did like about the episode was Leah. I thought Leah, the actress that plays Leah, does a good job in that role, and seeing the way her perspective went throughout the episode, from like her watching everything, and if we are to believe that this is the first time Pope went that far, but that stinks to me like a pile of horse shit, that would be the only time that he was like that. That's fucking bullshit, because he's just that kind of guy.
Right, like suddenly he's what we don't even have anything that would show us he was never like this previously.
No, just her word.
Nothing.
Just her word.
Right.
And these people are dumbasses too. It's not like you're thinking, oh, they have a good perspective on this sort of thing. No, they don't.
Pope likes me, so he won't throw me into a fire. Pope likes me, so he won't shoot rain arrows down on me next, or order one of them to do that to me. Like once you see that, why isn't that like, no, Pope, go fuck yourself. What?
Yeah, and that can't, and again, that can't be the first time. She says she kills him because he forgot about what was important. So did he start out as someone that was just all about his people and then forgot about his people? And that happened now?
He thinks he's God suddenly?
All of a sudden? No.
Like, he's been, like, once your military commander starts preaching gaudy shit, like,
fuck off. Exactly how we started our show, in the most awkward way possible, in the way that we started the show, because I feel like that's this. Okay, again, this was probably the most entertaining of the 8 episodes. I'll give you that, Joe. But it was also
but it
really, was the stupidest. It was the most really entertaining, wasn't. But it was the stupidest. You started off saying you liked it.
No. I started off saying I liked that she killed. I liked the aspect of Pope died real fucking quick, done. Like when it was time for Pope to die in the episode, right? There wasn't a big fight. There wasn't a big anything. I was okay with her being the one that fucking did it. Daryl getting ready to do it, but like, what? He took out his knives to do it that way when like
he was gonna like fight him.
He had a crossbow at some point, like on his shoulder. Suddenly he doesn't. Like,
I went to
one
go
arrow
get my
to the back, one gunshot. Like, he went to take out his knives. Like, Pope's got a sidearm. Once you draw your knives, I draw my gun and shoot you from across. No,
he was gonna go all Robert Englund and venture the forward failing and go
Pope was gonna
go
fight this dude. Yeah, no, I don't think
man to man, mano y mano. He pulled out his knife to go fight him. Like, when he saw Daryl face off him, he didn't pull out a gun. He goes, "Come on!" Like they were gonna go 1-on-1.
I didn't even see him get that far. I just saw her. Daryl pulled out the knives. He turned. She drew her knife and stabbed him. I
watched. I rewind a little bit. He actually pulled too. He faced off for Daryl with a second, like, with a knife.
Well, that's an idiot. That's a fucking idiot, right there. Are you kidding
I'm pretty
me?
sure.
Like,
someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm 90% sure.
Oh yeah, let's have a knife fight when I could just shoot you, or just turn to them and say, "Shoot him."
Man-to-man, mano-y-mano. What the fuck does man-to-man, mano-y-mano mean anyway? Pope, Igor, our good buddy Igor, says, Pope would have been taken out earlier. No way that group's putting up with that psycho-babbling motherfucker burning down everyone. And again, it can't, I'm just saying, it can't be the first time he's acted like this. That seems to be the vibe, that this is his governor turn. Someone in the chat said he reminded him of the governor, but stupider. Like,
okay, let's do this. Let's do this now.
Tell me, Joe.
Quick. Okay, so obviously we don't know who the big bad is in Eugene Land over there.
Eugene
Radio Land, right? Like
Radio Land.
But what we do know is this is the final.
The Commonwealth,
final.
Joe. The Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth. Okay, but this is the final. We're a third of the way through, or halfway through, or whatever it is. Who is? Let's rank the bad guys real quick. Like Pope is like sitting on the bottom. I even think like asshole cops, rapey cops were better than fucking Pope's.
I would agree with you. Pope is definitely near the bottom of the barrel.
He's on the bottom. Who's one of my favorite bad guys so far is the Claimed Gang.
Yeah,
I love the way that whole thing plays out, and he gets his.
I like the Wolves, even though they were in one episode where we got Carol taking all of them out. I like Gareth even more than you do. I like the governor. I like Negan better than you, but I like Negan better than this dude. I like all the fake Negans, Stephen Ogg better than this guy. I like I don't know. Okay, the only one I guess Alpha would be the one. I don't know who I.
Okay, Alpha big bad, Alpha Beta big bad.
I like Beta. I don't like Alpha.
Beta's better than Alpha right away.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I don't like Alpha.
Are both the Beta and Alpha, right? Which is where we learn this zombie walker shit.
The concept is cool. I just didn't like.
But we already had this concept through Michonne. She used to strut with him.
Yeah, but now we see it to like the nth degree. Okay, let's not go backwards.
And we had zombie bombs before, didn't we? Load up a couple trucks at some point for zombie bombs in other episodes.
We've done.
Like, didn't the prison get zombie bombed?
Joe, Simpsons did it. They've done everything. There's no going back. But Joe, what we do have to stop for is we got a super chat donation from the wonderful Tracy G. So The Walking Dead is stolen from the Maggie movie The Boy, The Last of Us, and Game of Thrones with the Arrow Machine. Please fucking end. So the Arrow Machine. Did you laugh at it, or did you go, wow, that's cool? I kind of laughed.
The fireworks with arrows.
Yeah, this is our genius. He makes things.
Yeah, our war engineer, or whatever they fucking said.
And I am gonna get up, Joe. I want Joe. Tell me what you thought at the end of this episode. The cliffhanger.
What cliffhanger? What cliffhanger? How is that a cliffhanger when 2 seconds after you show it, you have previews that show every single one of those people that is getting fired on by arrows alive in the next, coming up on The Walking Dead. That's not a cliffhanger. There's no cliffhanger there. That was stupid. Like, oh no, huge cliffhanger.
How many
next week on The Walking Dead, or when The Walking Dead returns, see all of those characters return.
Do you think anybody will be killed by the arrow storm that was supposed to kill everybody?
Then we saw them all in the next episode.
I didn't see next episode preview.
If you want, and they played it literally, they cut from that scene, that arrow flying to the black screen, right into when we come back on The Walking Dead after the break. They showed all of them.
So they
Maggie,
didn't
the
even
priest, the Daryl, the fucking Carol, everybody that was in town, the Negan, except Leg Wound, who lost his sister. He's dying.
Okay, hopefully.
He's the fodder that dies when they come back, because they got to kill someone, and maybe because he wore a mask and he had some tragedy, we all care about him for some reason.
I don't know. It's hard for me to accept, but I guess I just understand that this is the nature of this show right now, where we set up with a weapon that can take out everybody and kill everybody. They fire it on everybody at the end of a season. We cut with a big tension moment, and then they completely deflate it almost a moment later by showing you scenes from next week where everyone's alive.
Yep, and I can't stand the first off, those fireworks. if you just grab one zombie standing next to you from behind and lay down on the ground, you're not going to, like, there's not enough pressure on those arrows. Like, lifting an arrow in the air, lifting a firework in the air.
What do you
like firing off a firework into the air takes some pressure, but not like they're like firing an arrow takes from a bow. That pressure is so much greater than this weak. I'm surprised any of those arrows or bolts tied to those weak ass fucking bottle rockets are actually flying.
Maybe that's just how it looked. Atari Dad says a Hawacha is an actual weapon. It was used in Asia around the 13th century, the 15th century. So is that what that was based on? Is that based on a real weapon?
It is, and it's but not that effective. Like, you're using it for distraction, maybe some arrows, but you're not putting as much force into those, maybe with much bigger fucking rockets behind them. But no, the rockets that are attached to those fireworks are not doing anything to with those arrows. Barely able to fly, probably because of the weight. Think about, like, the stick they use on bottle rockets. It's not a heavy thing.
It's funny, like in the episode itself, like they make it almost look like they're guided missiles. Like when it flies off, like it's chasing after our heroes, and there's no way they can survive. As someone in the live chat said, the art of killing a cliffhanger. I'm not a big fan of cliffhangers, especially in this day and age in television. But if you're gonna do it, don't debald in the next second.
Unless those fireworks that are propelling them are filled with some sort of like pellet or stone or anything that's going to explode out from it. Just the explosion from the firework isn't going to do anything to them unless it, like, the arrow hits them and the explosion happens right up against their skin. But, like,
now,
I'm in awe at how stupid it really fucking looks.
Atari Dad says they were nowhere near as effective in practice. There's this samurai game called Ghost of Tsunami where they make it look like modern artillery.
Right, they're not effective. They have no, like, because of the way the aerodynamics of it all. They don't fly straight. It'll go every which way. Like, even firing from that distance, you might only have like 50% enter that field. Like, and leaning that whole case forward, those were just resting in there. Like, he slid it up and put it and hooked it on the end from the backside. You tilt that fucker forward to fire down on the courtyard.
Yeah, and how much?
Half of those fuckers are sliding out.
Yeah, and you lit it like a stick of dynamite. It was some sort of a big fuse that lit it too.
Yep.
I'm failing to understand. Yep. So did it light
fuse? They were fireworks.
So it was a giant firework in the back, a giant stick of dynamite. Maybe?
They were like bottle rockets, dude. They were like bottle rockets tied like maybe M80 size fireworks or slightly bigger.
But this guy is a
half
genius.
sticks.
This guy is like the guy that designs Inspector Gadget's stuff down there. This guy is such a fucking genius. Let's get into the live chat before we get into our recap here. Did they bring a dirt clod to a knife fight? Angela is shitting on the show, says Negan. Negan also says, by the way, how could that truck work? It's 12 years post-apocalypse.
Dude, the truck. How do they get air in the fucking tires? Have you ever seen a car that hasn't moved in just like maybe like a year and a half, 2 years? Those tires deflate.
My mornings, some mornings.
Like, unless you're like fucking ridiculous. There's gas in it. The water in the battery hasn't evaporated yet. Come on, bullshit. Corrosion around the fucking contacts never built up. Like rust. The thing hasn't moved in 12 years, most likely. Like, what?
Oh,
what?
It worked.
Just straight, what? Fucking bullshit. Bullshit. Every drop of oil in that thing has settled to its lowest fucking point.
Exactly, like Negan says, my car breaks down after 2 weeks not using it. The next morning, some mornings I'll park my car, I'll wake up in the morning, I get that tire is low alert, and there's no hole in my tire. It's just from the compression in the air. Or the condensation in the air that like gets the air out of your tires a little bit in the mornings and some shit. I'm no scientist. There's some science to it. I'm talking out my ass. But to Joe's point, after again, what are we talking? 10 years here in this apocalypse or something like that?
Yeah, like ridiculous that like there should be just about zero vehicles that are working at that point.
Yeah, they forgot. As Igor says, they forgot about the time jump. We're going in real time here. Like they're like, this is only been, even in real time. If we're going by seasons of The Walking Dead, it's only been that much time. But it's been 11 years. Oh no, but most seasons are only 2 days, so it's probably only been a couple of weeks. This whole zombie apocalypse is just a few months, Joe.
Oh yeah, Judith just got some fucking growth hormones.
Yeah,
kicking. She's really only.
She's got the Robin
1 year old.
She's got the Robin Williams Jack thing going on. she's just growing. Okay, so but this group with Pope just seems fucking stupid. Okay, let's get into it before we get into our recap here. Or should we? Okay, let's just get right into it. But the worst part of this episode, we're going to wait to talk about it when we actually get to it. People want to get their voice into the conversation. They can do that at 781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. And you can also leave messages if you're watching this later, because Joe and I will be on next Sunday as well at the same time. And if we get any voicemails about this episode, we'll talk about it again. But what we really got to talk about right now is we got to do it.
Do it.
The final recap of The Walking Dead of the year. And it's exciting. It's exciting to be finished with the show. And people that want to know, yes, we have 16 more episodes of The Walking Dead to go, then The Walking Dead movie, then possible sequel series. But we're not committing to any of that shit. But what we're committing to 16 more episodes of The Walking Dead, and then we're going to gracefully transfer over to The Last of Us, hopefully, and for our survival horror fix for discussions on this show. For good or for bad. Even if it's bad, we're gonna have. You want to see some Joe rants? If The Last of Us is bad, oh my goodness, you're gonna see some rage coming out of the man to next to me right now. If that series,
I am probably way too excited or anticipating or expecting way too much. But here's the thing. I'm also like, I don't know.
If you want to hear Joe talk more about that, check out last week's episode after our recap altogether. We get into a little bit more of Joe's thoughts about that. And once we get a trailer rather than just an image, we'll start doing some coverage of that series to start getting Joe's thoughts. We're not going to do a whole podcast on one image, but when we get an actual live action real thing, we'll talk more about that. Okay, so we open up to an expansive looking drone shot. I will say again, it seems like a lot of the budget for the season went to this episode. Now we're at Von Kaiser's place, and he's watching a weird walker movement as they discuss if Daryl has balls and what's going on. Pope picks Daryl's plan. Like right from the beginning, Joe, it's just a bunch of dumbassery. It's like, Dixon, have you ever seen walkers move like this? Yeah, down on 5th Street, I saw 10 walkers walk around like this. It happens all the time. What are you talking about? Oh, I believe Dixon. Let's listen to Dixon's plan, and let's go out here, and let's have you, buddy, you go over there and go kill a bunch of random walkers. And then he basically sends one of his guys out there to go kill a bunch of random walkers. Now, this guy Bell, he's doing his best to do some herding, and he's hungry, and he's doing his Pied Piper thing. But this is no ordinary group of walkers. This is a bad situation, and this dude is in trouble. And I will say, visually, this was a good scene. If they did more of this stuff and dealt with the walkers, I mean, when you suddenly see one guy walking, and then he's surrounded on 4 sides by 4 armies of the walkers, and with like Negan and Maggie and Gabriel pushing the walkers as whispers towards this dude and ripping them apart. I thought this was a decent start to the episode from an action standpoint.
Yep.
And watching dude get trapped. And if they did more trap scenarios like that, where the walkers were used as force of nature, whether through herding tactics or not, I think you'd have a better show if you didn't worry about like character drama, which is not your highlight.
You'd have a better show if you didn't treat
us
walkers like they haven't been around in your life for 12 years. Like, go out there and fucking kill them all. Why did you send one person? Oh, look, there's 100 walkers. What are there, 7 of us? That's about, 12, 13 each. Let's go do this. Let's just go do this. We'll be done in 15 minutes.
So almost like just
15 fucking minutes.
Just setting
Literally.
up setting up patio furniture. Just
I don't
help me.
And that's what I don't understand. Like I'm sorry, I got to get into it right now. Like, we see Rosita finally, like she runs out on the porch, like, open the door. Wait, A, there's no other way out of the fucking house. Okay, B, she runs out on the porch and she dispatches them all. And then we see her run down the steps. Not like it's easier to get a headshot from standing above them 3 steps.
Higher
also
ground.
making it harder for them to like grab onto you and shit at the same time. But like, then she runs back in and lets the porch get crowded up again. She dispatches like 20 of them right then and there. Boom, done. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
Also,
fuck?
We can get a really good line read of her saying,
let's stay away from the windows.
Stay away from the windows.
To Judith, who was legit like saving another girl who was playing next to the windows. Don't look at me, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Sure, I'll stay away from the windows. Next time you're about to get eaten, I'll fucking watch like Negan does to Maggie.
Super-doo-wah-wah. Okay,
Are you kidding me?
Chalkboy asks if Rick is still going to have his pimp walk swagger, but
Fucking stupid.
I hope so. Real YT will get into this at a different later podcast, and we'll remember you said this when we're talking about the series. And in my all honesty, I will have as much fun talking about this, even if just from Joe's reactions, if that is the case. But Real YT says The Last of Us is going to be bad. Trust me.
Like, why are they all there? Oh, why are they all hiding in the fucking house?
We'll get to Alexandria in a little bit. Santivia Major says, is Dog still alive? He's my favorite actor on the show. Santivia, great to see you. Hope all is well in your world. Dog is still alive, but we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. But we did get a story about a dog being choked today. Did Rick do the same in Alexandria? They need to give some sort of loud noisemaker outside. Why didn't they have Lydia wear a mask and lead the walkers away? Because they're not fucking smart, Joe. And yes, they're all just huddled into a house. Oh, that was one of our groups. Because we do set up at the beginning of the episode in Alexandria that certain members of the Alexander group went somewhere else to go do other things.
No. Fix the wall. Get the walkers away from the house, which someone isn't doing.
Yeah, whoever's job that was failed but we ended up just concentrating mainly on the ones at the house. We didn't.
It's just stupid. Like, and they don't have they don't have a house that doesn't have rotten doors to go sit in. Like, they don't have one fortified house.
Aaron's been warning them for years here. Okay, so in Alexandria town, it's storm raining and everyone's hiding, and Muppet Babies groups are there, and we see Judith says, you know what my mom always says about the storms? It's always brightest right afterwards. Oh my fucking horrible. Sorry. Horrible. No offense to the kid actor who did the best she could with a piece of shit dialogue that they give this poor actress Judith. You could do so much better, actress that plays Judith, that I don't want to remember your name right now, because I don't want to remember that you did this horrible shit later when you might do some good stuff later after this point, because oh my God, did they give you some shit dialogue in this episode. I feel bad. There should be laws against giving kid actors horrible dialogue like they did in this episode tonight, because it was bad. Now, anyways, so just barf. Now something gets blown open, it's danger, everyone's scared. Back to Von Kaiser and the Reapers, who's like, we sacrificed our God to Maggie, and God will protect him, if God didn't protect him, he died. It was just kill him right there. How did you not stab him right there when he's talking this shit? And everyone just go Jon Snow, go for the watch on this dude right there when he just basically admitted to sending one of their friends, their family members, Joe.
And now we know where our enemies are.
Because we know our enemy won't give up, Joe.
Our enemies are close.
It won't give up, Joe. I will beat Little Mac in this next rematch. I am Von Kaiser. I will win. Like, oh my fucking gosh. Like, Coral, rest in peace, Coral. She'd been canged, Santivia. It's
fucking stupid.
Negan says it's Coral, not Carl. Stop it. Now we have to wait 4 months to find out what the fuck it even happened. Okay, so we go off to Aaron and Okay, no, I'm sorry. So then he presses her, and he goes to Lydia. Goes, Lydia, or Shaw, I think he calls her all the time. Lydia, do you disagree with my leadership? Lydia, are you saying I'm wrong? And she's like, yeah, I'm saying you're wrong. You're fucking, I'm questioning you. She's like, you're questioning me a lot since your boyfriend showed up, and I wanted her to turn to say, well, you're acting like a fucking dumbass pretty much for the last year and a half. But she's just like, yes, sir, whatever. And then Daryl just gets this look in his face the whole time like, oh, my God, this guy. I've seen a lot of batshit people, but this guy is the worst. This guy, Daryl has a look in his face like he agrees with Joe's rankings for Pope being at the all-time bottom of our Walking Dead adversary list right there. And as Jason Voorhees says, F this show. Okay, so go off to Aaron and Carol's team as they separate to protect the walls, and some of the characters I don't care about say some stuff. Like for some reason they had to give Magna a line, and the other characters that just came back, everyone had to have a participation trophy. Like, oh, I'm doing something this episode. It was just stupid.
I got paid to this week.
Exactly. And the guy that was Virgil that I was pretty sure died last week, a couple weeks ago when he got stabbed a bunch of times. I guess he's still alive. And he's like, I'll protect the kids. I need something to do because we need to have a cheesy, ridiculous, horrible...
Same thing with Aaron.
Aaron's still alive, Joe. Then we had to get this Virgil had to be in a scene because we had to get that stupid, horribly worded dialogue crap that we get with him and Judith later in the episode that I'm going to point out. So Judith wants to help, and Carol says, "Remember, look at the flowers, Judith, and keep everybody else safe." Okay, whenever I see Carol with kids, it makes me think of look at the flowers, and that makes me feel okay, I guess. That was a moment of decentness where we have Carol do something by talk to Judith and say, protect the kids. You need to protect all the rest of the Muppet babies. And then Aaron has a goodbye with his daughter, and Judith steps up to be the Kermit the Frog, and she says, I'll take care of sad Gonzo and make sure everyone's all right. So we go back.
Judith's dialogue is written like a 30-year-old woman's dialogue too.
A really cheesy 30-year-old woman. Magna's still alive. Yeah, she's just hanging out, not really doing much. They just have her show up from time to time to say stupid dialogue and talk about other people that we don't care about and
be about 30 years more mature than she is too, with how she handles a lot of the shit that's going on around her.
Yeah, and Igor, I don't really know a lot of the names of the characters either. Oh, you mean Judith? Yeah, Judith is absolutely, because she has the wisdom of her mother and her father. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so Pope is at it again. The Rodersuck keeps pressing Daryl for info. Now, finally, after all this time, he's like, Daryl, keep telling me about Maggie. Now you're going to tell me that important information, even though I already tortured you and declared everything all right. Now I have to have this other scene because I have to talk about this. I have to say this lick you line.
Everybody's going to really hate me because I've fucking strangled the dog.
Right.
Now.
This is again.
So now it's okay that I die.
Yeah. This is going to make it okay. So if anyone thinks that my wordy dialogue,
everybody likes my character, you don't anymore.
Right, because I strangled a dog. Did you know that this guy's a bad guy, Joe? He strangles dogs.
I had a feeling. Can
you believe it? I don't know. And I think Chubby Dude with the musician beard's still alive. I'm not sure where he is. Bless you. I'm not sure. I think he is still alive though. The other one of their friend group, the guy that plays instruments and shit. I think he's on Walkabout or something. I'm not positive though. He might have died in the whole whisper thing. He snuck off to
the ocean side.
Oh yes, he's with Oceanside. Okay, absolutely.
Harem group.
So smart guy. So he says tells Daryl the story about the dog, and he says he would either lick my. I didn't know if he was going to lick my hand or bite it, and Daryl says I'm not going to lick you, and he says I don't want you to bite me either, and Daryl says yeah. What do you think these people are doing? And Daryl says, I think Maggie's a good shot and she might be up in a tree somewhere. So they decide to go check out the trees. So then they get a call on the radio, come on out, and the walkers are back. Pope laughs and he's impressed with the way that Maggie has been able to turn the dead against the living for the dead. And then Daryl questions if the walls can hold, but he says, don't worry. As we see the minefield show up and everything starts blowing the fuck up, and yippee, 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 there is a fucking minefield. So
I've seen this once before. They just led them away.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do it.
I saw this down. I saw this down on third. Again, I saw this down in 3rd Street. I saw the walkers do a loop-de-loo once, and you gotta believe me, Pope. Like, shut the fuck up, Daryl. Shut the fuck up,
Right.
everybody. Yeah, because Shane was the wisest character of all time. Exactly, Negan. Judith has the wisdom of Shane. That's exactly what I mean. So now we go back over to, sorry to hammer in a joke, but it really fucking, like, I hate being right, to the Muppet Babies.
Oh God, every second.
This is horrible,
these
Joe.
kids doing anything on this show is fucking awful. First off, every time I see the kids just off on their own, I'm sorry. My kid's never going to be more than 10 feet from my fucking side.
Oh no, Michonne
period.
left. But Michonne and we make
Right? Like, and if Michonne's leaving, why didn't Michonne take her fucking kids with her?
No, Michonne. No, we in this episode we got to make sure everyone knows that everything's okay with Michonne. That
She just abandons.
but
both
she's
her fucking
no,
kids.
she's still alive in the way that Judith holds her sword.
Yeah, we don't even know that for sure. And the last time we saw this guy, before he found Magna, he was like, she was trying to kill him, or he was trying to kill her, or some shit.
Yeah, there was some fucked up shit going on. Okay, so the Muppet Babies get some of the worst dialogue of all time. I wish I was more like you, Judith, and I was never afraid, says Gracie. Judith says, use your fear. Don't be scared. My mom taught me that. My mom taught me to use my fear, and I can teach you to do the same thing, Gracie. Okay. And then Virgil says, you remind me of your mom. I can see her in you, the way you talk to the kids, the way you hold your sword. You don't have to worry that your mother abandoned you. You have your mother inside of you. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Have you seen my mom? No, I haven't. Shut up. Don't ask me questions about your mom. You're like her with the sword. That's
Yeah.
Just remember that. That's what you gotta remember. Shh. Shh. Look at the flowers, Judith. Look at the fucking flowers, Judith. Now then she says, Gracie, be careful. Don't hold your hands out the window. But Gracie's not careful. And a walker grabs through the wall, but no one's hurt. And she's saved and she stabs a walker in the head. And then Virgil comes over and saves the day too, even though he's mad injured. And they blow out some candles, and they're like, oh fuck, we're surrounded. So back to our minefield in Meridian, Joe, and we're like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. How exciting.
Yep. And she's thinking, so he just preaches more shit. And Leah's just like, shut the fuck up, Pope. And he talks about sacrifice. We're the chosen people. We don't run. She looks like, how did I ever get this far with this guy? And we rule. And we see Daryl looking through his scope, and he notices 2 walkers splitting from the group. It's Maggie and Gabriel. They sneak to the gate, and Daryl just, I guess, we don't see how he does it, but he just disappears from the roof with Pope and Leah. She asks him later where he went, but he doesn't really, we don't see him actually leaving the roof. That's the moment. You know, like if I'm in a room with you, Joe, and I walk out of the room when tensions are high, you're going to say to me, where are you going as I'm walking away? It's when I get back, you're going to say, where was I? Maybe if I got away, but like there's a whole time period right there where we didn't see Daryl just left and no one said anything like, hey, Daryl, where you going? And he just kept going. But whatever. Daryl leaves and he goes, and then he starts helping them, and he works from the inside, and he kills a few guys and gives a guy a cigarette and ends up stabbing him.
How many guys does Pope fucking have? How many people does she have left, for Christ's sake?
I think she probably has 5 or 6 people left at this point. I think he had around 20. And I think they've lost like 6 or 7 that we've seen.
I thought they had 7, and
I thought they had around 20 is what was said earlier. But it hasn't been specified. So Gabriel catches some shrapnel from the mine. Darrow's got the bow, and Leah's like, where you been? He's like, I'm ready. And Pope is like, ready the Watcher. And they bring out, and then we cut the commercial, ready for the Watcher. We see more mine explosions as we see Maggie sneaking in with Gabriel, and they like, it smells like stinking and rotting. Time to get the food and go the fuck home. So we go back to Alexandria, and this is what you're talking about earlier, Joe. The hinges of the doors are coming off, and they're in trouble.
Yeah, right? Like, at
this point, the houses weren't secure enough to even have the hinges of the doors come off. Now, this is the scene Joe talked about earlier. Rosita's going to buy them some time as she heads out and she kills a bunch of walkers. Judith watches her, and I'm not sure the emotion that Judith was supposed to be eliciting, if it means she's missing her mom because it reminds her of her mom, or she's wishing she was out there too, helping out, or she was scared or something. I don't know what we were supposed to feel from what Judith was showing us, except for apathy. That's all I was feeling from the whole fucking pile of shit, Joe. Oh God, this episode almost broke me. Like, because I wanted to like this one. Like, it at times there was moments where I wanted to like it. I came out here.
Yeah, like how do you? What kind of balance are you trying to do, Kang? When you're like, okay, we're gonna balance this action shit going on in this town and the action shit in this town with this, like, the Muppet moments.
Yeah, no,
I don't get that. I
Yeah.
don't get like do you want us to be feeling excitement, or do you want us to be feeling
whimsy.
Oh, poor Judith?
Yeah,
Because,
whimsy.
like, jumping back and forth between those two kind of feelings doesn't help you out, because it takes away your excitement, and then it immediately follows by taking away your sympathy or whatever. Like, you don't give the audience enough time to settle into either, and neither ends up being fantastical. You take you're taking the wind out of your own sails in your action by, like, even like every time you show Judith kill a fucking zombie with her sword, you make every adult in this fucking community look like the most inept fucking idiot by, oh, let's all run upstairs, instead of poke them in the fucking head through the window. Like,
Yeah, I cannot argue with anything you said there. As Jesse in the live chat says, facts. They can just give
like,
me. They can just.
Rosita runs out on the porch and kills 20 of them instead of keeping it clear and staying out there in the rain. Didn't look that bad to me, aside from maybe a little wind. Like, fucking hello, put on some extra clothes and go start fucking killing. Go clean up your fucking town. You people have done it before. You've been having to do it for 12 fucking years.
But they're hungry.
What's the fucking problem?
They're hungry, Joe.
Oh God.
So yeah, I couldn't agree with you more in the sense that they set this up. This was the Walker bomb that you could see coming a mile away, with how many times Aaron this season said, "They're coming. We got to watch out. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. Our walls can't handle this. Oh, we're one Walker attack away." And we finally get the payoff to this at the end of this episode. And did we really get a conclusion of it? Did they just leave this hanging too?
What, the storm?
Yeah, like did the storm end?
No, storm. Judith is stuck in the basement.
Right, Judith is stuck in the basement. So
the rain's flooding in and the zombies are flooding
so
down.
we got double cliffhanger. We just didn't talk about that because I don't care. So so Rosita buys them some time. She goes out to kill a bunch of walkers.
We don't see Judith in the next.
Oh.
In the previous, I don't know if we saw Judith in the previous.
Oh yeah, well,
week.
one of my fucking I'll go to Vegas and bet $1 billion I get with the worst hitman that would murder me in a second if I was wrong and didn't have the money to pay off. That Judith.
No, the best thing that could
survives.
happen is if Judith dies and then fucking Michonne gets back without Rick, and her kids are fucking dead.
This show doesn't have the balls to do something like that.
Nope, not even close. And then Michonne just starts cutting off heads and then kills herself.
Joe, none of our main characters have so much plot armor right now that can't be hurt in obvious situations. They're not going to do anything to a child, let alone a child main character. It's fucking possible. That girl is protected by a force field of epic crazy powers. She is the V child. She is Neo. She is the one. Now that Carl is gone, this whole future of the universe revolves around young Skywalker here. She's the one. She is the one, Joe. Okay, so we open up to Rosita and I do like the line read. Like, it may have been the stupidest pile of crap in the world and meaning nothing in a weird situation. But I actually liked the way the actress that plays Rosita said, "Let's stay away from the windows." It's almost like they wanted her to say that line, and they built the scene around her ending up saying that line because she said it really cool in like a cheesy machete kind of cheesy horror movie, Nightmare on Elm Street kind of movie way. It was like a good that kind of movie line, like a cheesy slasher, awful, like one of the bad popcorn horror movies type shit. Like it was a decent line. So we go off to Gabriel sneaking around looking for food and getting ready to set up his sniper shit. They're uncovering the machine, and it looks like a swatch of arrows to fire out and all the walkers, to handle all the walkers and all the people all at once.
Stupid.
And it does look pretty stupid. It looks like that thing that I use to brush my cat. Like the cat brush with all the prickles and stuff like that. But it looks like a swatch of arrows, and it's going to handle all the walkers. Daryl turns to Leah and says, "Do you believe what Pope is the shit he's saying? That God chooses us here for this group and all this sort of shit. Do you believe in him?" And she says that doesn't matter. She asks,
"Well, it does to me.
What would it be like if we never left the cabin?" And Daryl and her share a moment, and she's about to tell him something, he's about to tell her something, and they don't, because Pope calls and says it's time to kill them. And he's going to tell her something. But Daryl breaks in and says, "My people are walking in with the dead. We're coming here to save food. My people can't die this way. You got to help me. I need to stop this." And she says, "You lied to me." And again, this is probably the only moment in the entire fucking quarter season we have here that I actually enjoyed Pope. He comes in, and right after Daryl and her are having this conversation, and comes in and goes, "Oh my goodness. What?
By fire and brimstone, we are rain down upon them with arrows from the heavens."
That's not what he said.
"Clear the courtyard of these enemies that have gathered in our house."
Good line read, Joe, but that's not exactly what he said. He said, "What were you two just talking about?" Like he could feel the tension in the moment, and he was like,
"We were talking about blowjobs on the roof."
That too. And they continue on here, and Pope is like, "What were you talking about?" She says, "Do not tell." Daryl gives her, "Do not say it. Do not say anything about this." And they keep their shit inside. And she holds her tongue for this moment. So then we get Maggie under some care with some intense music, messing with the cars, a ton of gas. Someone comes but does not see her, but she starts the truck. Yep, this truck
the gas hasn't completely fucking. Just unreal.
So she sends the truck into the gate to bust it open so the walkers can get all in, and there are teams inside.
What the fuck is this guy doing over like suddenly there's one of the soldiers is going to go rummage through this area for what? What was he doing over there? What was he supposed to be doing? Let me go get the thing that's piled in the trash behind the truck that doesn't move that we need so desperately at this moment. I got it. What was he doing there?
I honestly
his purpose. There was no zombies in the area. See, just like I'm one of the soldiers that doesn't have a weapon, and I'm finding a weapon. What was he doing there?
That's a good fucking question that I did not think about, Joe. Let's get into the live chat for a second. Misbehave says, "All wet, just killed a bunch of walkers," and says, "Oh, Phil just thought she looks sexy." I don't know, a little bit,
Seriously, what the fuck was he doing there? What was the point of it? There's no zombies over in that area. Like, what was his orders that he was going to accomplish? Was he like, suddenly I think there's a hatch open in the wall over there. Let me go find out.
His job was to die, Joe. He wasn't chosen.
To get hit to make the truck, her hot wiring the truck all that more exciting.
Yes.
Just fucking stupid.
It is fucking
one of those moments that just is really stupid.
And they had to choose the horses. Yes, absolutely. Great. Thank you. Daryl looks like he drinks moonshine all day. Does Daryl still think about his brother? I'm sure occasionally he thinks about Merle. We don't hear about Merle. I think last season there was a mention of Merle in one episode when he was in the cabin. I believe he talks about the first time we meet Leah. He mentions Merle a few times. So Maggie's under with the intense music. She sends the truck. Pope wants to kill his own people, and this is when he does the age-old thing where we talked about earlier, the horrible, terrible television trope that the bad guy shows he's even crossed over to even more bad guy land where he's lost his mind and he's going to fire on his own people to kill his enemies. Longshanks style. Even though Longshanks was winning that battle at that point in time, but I think it all started like the first thing in modern television cinema that I can remember doing it is that Braveheart scene. But all men are on there. Well, they'll die too. Who gives a shit? We have backup. We have reinforcements. It doesn't matter. And so Pope was going to kill his own people, and God's gonna protect him, and Pope is going mad. I want question. I know I'm the man. Everyone loves me. The world is gonna protect us, Joe. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, it's a scene like speaking of, someone mentioned Star Wars earlier. We get a scene that's very similar to Kylo and Rey getting ready to kill Snoke when Daryl pulls out his knife, and again, someone can correct me later. Daryl pulls out his knife. Pope pulls out his knife too and goes, "Yeah, let's do it." Almost like makes an expression like that, like finally, let's get it on. And after he lights the weapon, and then what's her name? Leah. Is that her name, Leah? She comes up behind him and stabs Pope, cuts him open. Daryl throws his knife, Jack Burton style, into the other dude. Kills him, one shot, kills him. And then Daryl also is able to grab his knife up again and then cut the fuse before it lights the machine.
Yep.
And Pope is about to die, and then he ends up getting stabbed some more as he's crawling away, leaking blood. And Daryl says, "Let's get out of here," to Leah. And Leah says, "No, you lied to me. Fuck you." Gets on the radio and says, "Dixon killed Pope, and he's still here. Everyone come back." So she turns on Daryl right there. Daryl escapes. He goes to leave, and he says, "Come with me." And she stops him. She calls the radio, and he asks her why he did that. She says,
"You lied to me by not telling me that was your people. But I just lied to my whole family and not telling them I stabbed their daddy in the neck."
Yes. And Daryl pulled out the knife because he was trying like hell, as Misbehave says, to try to avoid another fucking Pope monologue. Because we've had a fucking enough. I've had enough. You want a piece of me, Dixon? Well, come and get it. Is that what he says, Negan? He says, "You want a piece of me, Dixon? Well, come and get it." So yes, he did pull out a knife in that situation, even though he was strapping with a gun and could have just shot Daryl right there. I'm pretty sure he absolutely had a weapon on him. So besides a knife, he had multiple weapons on him. So instead of doing that, he decided to try not shoot him in that situation. Dumbass to the nth motherfucking degree. How did this dumbass survive the zombie apocalypse this fucking long? Come with me if you want to live. Okay, so Daryl says that, and she says, "You said you'd do anything for your family. I'll do anything for my family too." And Daryl runs off. Now, dude comes in. She goes to leader mode and closes the gates and retreats. Oh yeah, Leah goes into leader mode. She says, "Everyone retreat, get off the gates." And dude goes to her, "What's up? Dixon killed Pope." She said, "Yup. Now we're going to light the weapon and make sure every single one of them die. We're going to kill them all."
Yeah, shut the gates and kill everything in this place.
Right. So potentially in that situation, all of our characters are in danger of dying, right, Joe? Like, Leah seems to be a pretty competent soldier. She knows what her weapon can do. We must say that the reason why we did this cliffhanger leaves on a point where our characters, our heroes, have no chance to survive this, right? There's nothing that can happen that will possibly make our characters survive, because there's missiles everywhere, and there's nothing that could ever happen. I mean, really, like, it's an intense situation where we have to very much worry for our character's safety as she fires that weapon here. But before we get to that point, we get back to Alexandra Town and the storm and the Muppet Babies. You've been worried about what's going to happen to our kids, haven't you, Joe? and more people just telling Judith that they got it. But Judith is worried about something because Gracie is missing. She's in the basement, and the basement is flooding like Titanic with Jack, when Jack is like attached to, like handcuffed in the basement. Now Gracie's looking for a weapon. Gracie, you're too dumb to live. I'm sorry, Gracie. Like, yes, before anyone gets their snuff all up against over here, I'm talking about a television character. I don't want anything to happen to her kid in real life. This isn't real life. It's The Walking fucking Dead that's proved to me that is not real life in any way, shape, or form. No television really is, but especially The Walking Dead. We're talking about marionettes of human beings. These aren't even caricatures of humans. And I think this kid's too dumb to live. So I think Gracie going down to the basement in the middle of the flood during all of this to go find a fucking stick of a weapon to be like Michonne and Judith. Bye, Gracie. Sorry. Some people should die. That's unconscious knowledge. Oh my God, you're fucking dumb. So, anyways, and I know she's a kid.
Who's also the same girl that was playing by the window with a sword when she got grabbed up.
Yeah, she seems to be the one. She's the Screech of the group. Not to bring back what we were talking about earlier in the messages. I just want to talk about that. She's definitely the Screech of the group. So, yeah, they definitely need a few red priests burning this shit down. Here's the video of, awesome. I will check that out. Darwinism. Judith sticks with Rosita. So they can kill Gracie, I'll be fine, but they'll never have the balls to kill Dog. I would agree with that. Dog will survive. He will survive. So Judith heads back to the basement, locks the door to get down there. Okay, so Gracie's down there looking for a weapon. They get up there, and a walker's at the top of the stairs, and they run back down to the basement. Judith locks the basement door, and they're stuck down in the basement. What will happen to our heroes? So here we are, Daryl. He's back with our team as the bad guys start retreating, and Maggie's like, oh my God. And we get our one Negan line of the entire episode. You must be shitting me. As they're all starting to retreat, as Leah looks down at all she surveys, lights up the weapon, which, visually, I guess, looks kind of cool from like a light up standpoint.
Not really.
What do you think it looks like, Joe?
It just looks stupid.
It looks
stupid on the Borgias too.
It does kind of look a little stupid. And Leah looks down, she lights up the weapon, and it fires, and I guess Maggie looks scared, and all of our people look like they're about to die, and to me, it looked kind of like a Transformer toy. When you were young and you got the Transformer toys, the silver ones that never worked, and you like pushed a button on them, they had a bunch of spikes on them. But anyways, and that's the end of our episode of The Walking Dead. That's our end of our quarter season of The Walking Dead. Went out with a bang, literally. Where do you rank? Are you excited for a break from The Walking Dead right now, Joe? Or are you excited to see where this season goes? Are you...
I am not excited in the least.
In the least bit. Do you think next half of season will be more about the Commonwealth? Will we spend more time just mainly in that storyline? Will that be our main focus point? Like this half season was with these Reapers. We had to deal with this.
No, I don't like it'll be the Commonwealth shit, and they'll be like the exciting conclusion to Leah's followers or whatever.
No, I think Leah's followers might go in the background a little bit. I think
No, because they still got to get the food out of town.
Yep.
And they got to get back to Alexandria. So you're still going to have a lot of Alexandria shit. You're going to have to conclude this Leah shit somehow.
Does this end with Leah joining the team?
No, this ends with Leah and her whole fucking posse dying.
Do you think it's the Commonwealth that shows up to save the day? Because
I don't think the Commonwealth has anything to do with it.
I think the Commonwealth shows up at Alexandria, though. Because I think Eugene ratted them out. I think Eugene told the Commonwealth people, and I think the Commonwealth end up at Alexandria to save the day from the storm, from like all this shit. They're going to show up there.
That's quite possible, but one of the problems with bringing a large group or a group of more than just a few people, right? You can say, when you start separating people and interrogating them all, a larger group is going to be a lot harder to manage, especially if you don't let them all come in. And then you're going to have a lot of people that have bad feelings.
And I mean,
but if you kill off a large portion of them or all of them, or just let only a couple in, or you find small groups, or you do what we're supposing happened with Rick, and you just take one or two at a time, or
will we
like it's a different kind of management that you need to do. Like,
will we start feeling like Endgame stuff in this next quarter of the season? I guess is what I'm talking about. Like,
I don't know, because I definitely don't feel any kind of Endgame.
Me
going
neither.
on.
I don't feel any Endgame here either. Will Endgame stuff, when we start to get little clues about Rick and Michonne again, and we start to bring back some of our main characters, will we get a Rick tease? And I'm not asking you as answering. I'm only asking as rhetorical, in a sense. Like, will we start getting some hints of something a little bit bigger by the end of next half season? Because they announced, I think they said The Walking Dead is coming back in, they said it this week. It's coming back in, I think it's December, maybe? No, not December. It's January. It's coming back in January. So that's when we'll be back talking about this show again. So probably January, April, and then going to end it by next fall. Which I think it's really interesting that this is the first time I can remember that The Walking Dead isn't airing on Halloween. That it ended that it aired the whole season. They initially were going to start the season around now, and they pushed it way up. Which I think shows how unsatisfied they really were with it. They jumped the gun. They were like, it doesn't matter. We don't have to wait until hype time. So maybe they were hoping that they would get some bigger things to do, and they needed to wait till later on. Like, some of the actors that they want to get were busy. And to get Michonne, because she's busy shooting other shit, they need to wait to certain times to be able to get those characters for the 1 or 2 episodes that they're going to get them. Same with Rick, and they need to match that shit up, which is a little difficult, where you have actors that are actually doing other things. Not so much with Andrew Lincoln, but with Denai. So let's get in the live chat a little bit before we start to call this an evening. They should have ended the Reapers in episode 8. We need the rest of the episode for the Commonwealth story. They shouldn't have ended the Reapers.
They shouldn't have even brought in the Reapers. It's kind of it's filler. That's all shit that's been done before. It's fucking stupid.
It was almost similar. I've said them a couple of times, like introducing the wolf characters, just so Carol could take them all out in one episode. This was kind of the same way, where Maggie and Negan and Gabriel took them all out in one episode, a whole group, but we had to worry about these guys for a whole season of building up over nothing, to have to hear these stupid Pope monologues. Do they really think that's what people want on this show? To have fucking like useless singular characters giving these vapid, like makeshift, like worst Shakespeare ever type monologues? You know, that's what they think. Like, with a bad guy, hark, like a Lady Macbeth kind of monologues with this fucking dude. Just horrible.
Yep.
Now, Igor says the comics went downhill from here, so not much hope for the rest of the series. Atari Dad says it's dumb that Judith uses a little sword and not a spear. Notice how they never show her stabbing these zombies from a wide angle. The camera is always on her. It looks stupid. It looks junior high school. It looks like the Shit Buddies video that we filmed with the weird angle of like stabbing with a tinfoil knife and stuff. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
It does not look good.
Now, Chalkboy says Leah probably used the weapon against Pope's men, against her own people. She killed the last of her own people in the walkers. I think we saw most of her people get off the battlefield before that was happening, and they were all up on the wall, the only remaining members. But I'm sure a couple of people that were maybe maimed and not quite dead that are mostly dead will be full dead after that fire fest. I just want to see who the Joffrey ends up being. They should have ended up, and we already read that one. Commonwealth equals Stannis. I think I agree with that. The way they're going to march in and save the day from this basic situation. We see Daryl hugging Judith in the trailer, so I think it does get resolved quickly. Stannis the Manus. Cool that Moda can post links, by the way. Never knew that. 20th Century for AMC. I honestly can't see Daryl making that huge of a speech. Whenever he gives speeches, it's horrible. I have a friend who calls the Reapers the rappers. Unless the Rick movies are based before the ending of the series, we'll get a cameo. Sorry, talk to text all the way. All I do is talk to text and create some of the weirdest, ridiculous long texts. If you ever have the misfortune of getting a text message from me, it's about 2 pages long.
Yeah.
And it's like...
He talks into he does voice to text, that's why.
Yeah, and it's stream of consciousness, voice to text into the, and it's very
just like the show.
Yes, it's very hard to decipher. Yes,
It
exactly.
doesn't make much sense.
But-
It's a lot of gibberish, but there's a couple of gems hidden in there.
Exactly. That's the whole point of the show. Nymeria's Wolfpack is coming in the last quarter. I absolutely think so. Very B. Exactly, Atari did. Very B movie situation. The best thing about the wolves was that awesome scream that the extra lets out when the first wolf is killed. It's very B movie-ish. Absolutely. The trailer, we see some of the Reapers live. Yeah, I think the Reapers are going to live. I think somehow this situation ends up with a truce. I don't think Leah dies at the end of the next episode, unless we have a whole another half an episode that is how they deal with getting the food out now. Like there needs to be.
They got a truck, Phil.
Okay, so they're filling the truck with the food that's pulling up, but didn't they crash the truck through the fence?
It's a fender bender.
No, it's not a fender.
How secure was the fence anyway?
Those tires have to be ready to blow out at any fucking second.
They're fine. It's all fine.
It's not fine. Nothing's fine, Joe.
Of course it is.
It hasn't been fine.
The truck is fine. It survived 12 years of sitting in the same spot.
Do you think
it
that
can survive a little fence post?
Do you think Leah and her crew will leave Meridian? They might just
Meridian?
The place that they're in.
Oh, that's where we are. Like,
yeah, that's where
I
we're
don't
at.
fucking know.
Do you think they'll just pack their shit up and leave?
What difference does it make?
It doesn't fucking matter. So Misbehave says Maggie and company just need to wait a day or two, and Pope will have killed his people himself. So Leah and Daryl and Death Chick love triangle happening at some point. Igor, I could see that happening. Misbehave also says Leah's story is stupid. She loves these people so much, yet she was just with Daryl and Dog in the woods. So I'm the last 11, 12 years. These people, that treat her like shit are family that she already always wanted. Exactly. This dude Pope that fucking talks to her like this and treats her like this and she goes, this is the first time you've ever questioned me now that your boyfriend's around. So until this point, he's just been saying all this stupid shit and everyone's listening to him. Now it's the first time people are questioning him because, it's the first time he's acted like an idiot, or the first time, or it's because Daryl's around, whatever. It just, none of it really makes a lot of complete sense from a character standpoint. Negan says, I think Angela somehow will make the rest of the Reapers to peacefully surrender and join the group. Negan, that's what I think is going to happen. I said that a couple of times, and I think that Leah's group ends up joining our group by the end of episode 2 of When We're Back. Episode 1, there'll be a lot of...
And here's the thing. That should have just happened right now instead of that whole Daryl killed Pope.
No, because it's not going to be a treaty with Daryl. It's going to be a treaty with, like, Maggie. Maggie and her are going to see eye to eye or something.
It doesn't matter. Like, it shouldn't have been, like, sure, fine, whatever. Like, it should have just ended then, not, like, why are they killing, like, they've been the aggressor the entire time. Mm-hmm. Her whole thing is claim game. No, we're just going to take everything from everybody because it's us or them.
Yeah, because we're like, we deserve it.
That's not the people you like want.
That's her family.
But that's not the people you want in your family.
No,
because once they come back to Alexandria, it's oh no, I want a big piece of steak and you get a little piece of steak.
I mean, it makes you wonder. They dealt with that issue with the Negan people a little bit. How much are the people that are working with Pope actually believe in his shit? I think that's what Daryl was doing when he was testing Leah and asking, do you really believe in this shit? Or are you just staying with the person that you think can keep you alive, or a sense of loyalty of some sort? But to your point...
Right. Is it about family or is it about God for you?
Or is it about loyalty?
How far fucking crazy are you here?
Yeah. What level of batshit are we talking about here?
Right. That's why it matters to me.
And also we saw with some of the other dudes that are on the team are total dickbags. So it's not like we don't have another... It's not like Leah's the best of them. And Leah is on the level of shadiness. So it's like the other dudes, every other dude that we've seen has been a disposable mustache twirler. There's Dick that doesn't trust... there's Dick that doesn't trust Daryl. There's Dick that smoked cigarettes and kind of trusted Daryl. There was Dick that didn't trust Daryl a little less than Dick that didn't trust Daryl. I mean, we didn't really get into... characters.
Any of them. They were all the same guy. I don't know the difference between any of them. That's why they made Leah part of this group so that we at least had anybody that we could discern from anybody that wasn't Pope.
And
like they are all generically the same.
As Lizard says, Leah was living fine on her own. Way better than with these motherfuckers. Would I recap Squid Game? I absolutely would, especially if it was early on. I mean, I haven't got a chance to watch it now, and I feel like if I did something now, it'd be just
good.
Yeah, no, and I definitely think I'm gonna like it from even just watching the preview. But
I'll watch that shit again and do those.
But yeah,
yeah,
I'll try to binge it this week. I'll let you know where I get it. But next Sunday we're doing just like a Sunday Night Live where we're just gonna talk about a bunch of topics. But yeah, we'll talk about Squid Game. We'll get Joe's thoughts on that next week, and I will try to give it a watch this week. I'll try to start tomorrow night and binge it this week to do that. So we'll try to talk about that next Sunday night.
They were only following orders, right? Like, come on, guys.
If the Reapers join the group, Maggie better go on and on about them killing her and people like she does Negan. Yes, absolutely. And but she won't. And because
Negan killed her husband
in
not
front of
just
her
people and baby dad.
And he took joy in it, and he laughed, and he said,
and he'd have done all of them instead.
Listen, I'm gonna cock-a-lock-a punch you with my ball stick here. You know, that's what we got him in.
Cock-a-lock-a punch you with my ball stick.
And I mean, we got Negan in the live chat right now. I mean, he can tell you what he has to deal with Maggie on an everyday basis. So, but that's our quarter season of The Walking Dead. I think all in all, Joe, one of the worst quarter seasons of The Walking Dead we've ever had. One of the worst eight episode stretches. And if we go back to our last episodes from last season 2, the final episodes of season 10, this might be one of the worst stretches of episodes of The Walking Dead of all time.
Yep.
Like all in all, like yes, I liked that Aaron and Gabriel and Terminator episode. I've talked about it ad nauseum. It was probably the one episode and my favorite episode in 4 years of The Walking Dead. And it was in the mix of all that. But pretty much every other episode since the end of the Whisper arc has been a colossal pile of dog shit. The Whisper arc was average. That I would say I liked that better than the seasons before that. So it seemed like
the Whisper arc sucked just as much. Everything that's ever been wrong with the show never changed. They never they saw the first of the lemmings jumping off the cliff, right? And they were just like, no, but like if we keep going towards that cliff, we won't jump off. Like, I don't know. They never learned from any lesson. They watched their numbers fall and plummet and then repeated the same shit that kept making their numbers fall and plummet. Like, I don't understand. Like, there can be no praising of this show and what AMC has done to it past a certain point. They've purposefully run it into the ground. It's just horrible. Like,
no, it's sad. It's sad.
It's not even worth yelling about because it's more sad than it is angry.
It's sad how they took something that was, because it's very rare do you see something like this happen in the way that it happened like this. And it makes me say that, okay, as much as people do, and I talk about it a lot, have like hair up in their ass still because of this Game of Thrones finale, and they're bringing a lot of negative attention. When you have a show, or How I Met Your Mother, or Lost even, or whatever, some of these shows that people followed till the end and then got disappointed with a horrible finale, even if you don't go back and watch it, it doesn't soil, for me anyways, doesn't soil the whole experience. I know in some shows we've talked about you can't go back and watch How I Met Your Mother. I still can watch an episode here and there and appreciate it in on its to itself. Same with Game of Thrones, same with any show that ends poorly, I can still go back and watch it. But The Walking Dead, it has been a slow, decrepit, horrible decline of epic proportion, and this is way worse. Seeing a show go like slowly to crap is worse than a horrible finale that destroys everything. That's not my point.
What I want to know is what food supplies could have lasted 12 years that they're going to pick up right now.
Canned foods?
Like I'm pretty sure still no.
I guess the only time that they picked up is like the army ration type stuff.
No, they don't last that long, dude. Those
But-
still don't either.
But you're gonna eat it when it's expired at that point in time, anyway.
Yes, you are, but still, like, Jesse J2 mentioned season 2, episode 1, Titans, the worst TV show ever.
I haven't given Titans a chance yet.
But that made me think of season 2, episode 1 of The Walking Dead, where
Was that at they meet up with
that's the
Herschel?
one. That's the quiet episode, right? Isn't that the quiet
Remember
episode?
when we thought that was the worst it could get?
No, the quiet episode. The first episode, they start out and it's winter and they enter the house and it's quiet and nobody says a word and they clear the house and Daryl kills the owl and Carl tries to eat the dog food.
That's
already
that's
at
season
dog
2, episode
food
1.
eating. That was season 2, I believe, episode 1. Maybe it was 3-1.
I think it's through because I think season 2 is mostly on Herschel's farm.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right. But anyway, aside from that, so it made me think of that anyway. And I'm like, Carl was already at dog food eating point 12 years ago.
Now Jay says Jay
fucking
is yelling in capital letters. Joe, canned food can last over 12 years. Joe, as long as it ain't
As long
dented.
as they ain't dented. Yep. Okay, sure. None of these cans are dented. None of, like, yeah, all right.
I
Sure.
could
I'm
hear
not
him
gonna-
calling
I'm
in
not-
right now to say that. Probably some
Yeah.
onions and a bunch of potatoes. And yes,
Right, exactly. Like, you're not getting much out of whatever you have here.
AMC
telling you.
always making crap, and they're going from one franchise to fuck to another franchise to fuck. Then the latest thing for AMC that's taking over for The Walking Dead, bless you, is they're doing a interview with the Vampire series. The interview with the Vampire series reboot is going to be on AMC, probably taking Walking Dead time slot, as I'm assuming.
I'm not excited for that.
I'm not excited about that at all, but we are going to be watching episode 1. We're not committing to recap that series, but Joe and I might do a Bastard Executioner thing where we watch the first episode of that just to kind of give our immediate thoughts.
I hope it's like Twilight and there's a 400-year-old male vampire hitting on a high school chick.
That's what we want in our vampire stuff. That's what
Not you know, that whole like not inappropriate pedophilia storyline that was going on there.
you mean with Brad Pitt and Kristen what's her name?
Well, no, because she's 400 or whatever, 100 years old too. But like in Twilight, like
yeah,
all
but
the old vampires hitting on like, you know, the high school chick or some shit. I don't know.
people are saying, oh no, yes, it is an AMC series that will be out. That's being developed. I think it'll also be out in 2022 or early 2023. Yes, AMC is working on the interview with the Vampire reboot.
Oh, I got good news, Negan. There's a better Walking Dead storyline with creature thingies.
We will
Coming on
we will
HBO.
see about that coming out on HBO. It looks so fake. We got Flat Stuff Earth. Great to see you in the live chat. Dehydrated food can last 25 years. If Maggie had a whole colony, they may have farmed. We have seen that they did farm at one point in time in Alexandria, I believe, and in Hilltop. At times they had a sort of whole thing of growing food, but now they ran out of that. So when they go out looking for the supplies, what exactly are to Joe's point? They talk about the food. Do we actually see it? What food supplies is Maggie actually talking about that Meridian has a ton of? We saw Pope and his crew eating at one point in time. He offered Daryl some steak, so they have frozen meat. Like, what exactly do they have there? Because do they have a farm there that we didn't see? Like, that where they're butchering animals or something? Like, I'm not sure what's going on, but we do see him feed Daryl at one point in time, and I believe he's eating like a steak, right? Doesn't he feed him like...
I have no fucking clue, dude. He's eating a dog that fucking Pope strangled last week.
He's eating Tick? Is that what was the dog's name? Tick?
Yeah.
Tick. Pilot YouTube reviews are fun. Yeah, we will do more. We'll do first episodes of stuff because we don't necessarily want to commit to certain series until we know if we're gonna like them or not. So I mean, there's certain series we're gonna talk about no matter what, like the Game of Thrones prequel series, the Lord of the Rings series, The Last of Us. Those are guarantees that Joe and I will talk about the final season of Better Call Saul when that finally comes. We'll be talking about that episode by episode. But there's certain stuff that it's like I want to take more of a wait and see approach. Even the Lord of the Rings series is a little bit of a wait and see approach to me. I'm gonna watch watch the first. They're probably going to drop 3 episodes. How Amazon's been doing things. They did it with The Boys. They did it with Invincible. And I assume they're going to do it with Lord of the Rings too, is release 3 episodes, then go week by week. So we'll know after those 3 episodes if we want to review it week to week.
Yeah.
You know, like, which I kind of like that they do. Like, if series are gonna do the stream release, the delayed stream release stuff, I would rather you give me 3 episodes at once and then go week to week, so I at least can see if I want to invest in the series.
Yep.
You know, if you're not going to give me the whole binge.
And release them at a fucking normal time in the fucking evening.
No, they do it at like 3 o'clock in the morning because it's got to be midnight on West Coast time. Okay, that's the one thing I'll say that's awesome about Hulu shows. They actually release it at midnight. Like Only Murders with the Building releases
but
Monday at midnight.
Why do you have to release Monday at midnight? Why can't you put your timer at fucking Monday?
Because that's Tuesday. Because it's releases Tuesday, the first time it can be Tuesday.
What? See, you're doing
Tuesday at midnight.
Arbitrarily, it's midnight.
No, it's just the first moment of the next day. If the episode's released on Tuesday.
No.
Let me say what I was saying.
I know what you're saying. You're saying the studio's exact whatever. The
studio decides to release episodes Tuesdays. So they release it the first moment on Tuesdays. You're saying, why don't they release it on Mondays at 8 o'clock? So,
okay, Tuesdays at 8 o'clock.
Tuesdays at midnight, Mondays at midnight, so you can watch it Tuesday morning.
Why?
Because I might want to watch my episode in the morning.
Do you not want to compete against actual television?
No.
Do you not
that's
want
the point.
to fucking destroy
That's the point of streaming. Who cares?
No, but you can. That's the thing.
But they don't care. No
Tuesday.
Cares.
Okay, listen. You're not going to compete against Monday Night Football, so you don't release it at Monday at fucking 8, right? No. But why wouldn't you release it Monday?
It doesn't matter now because people watch, but I don't think people watch it at certain times anymore. When people are watching streaming stuff right now, they watch it
at exactly midnight.
I do because I recap the show and I want to start taking notes, so I watch it the first time I can watch it.
Right, and if
the first moment I can watch it.
And if that's 8 o'clock on whatever day,
yeah, and it's more convenient.
Midnight.
It's midnight's more convenient for me because it's the first time on the next day. Like, yes, certain shows could release it.
I don't understand what
you're saying. You're saying premiere for more of an appropriate time so people can watch it live. Most people aren't watching it the first moment it airs. Stations do that. HBO Now does that, or HBO Max does that. Like Showtime does that. AMC Plus do that, where they release the episode live at a certain time as a big release. That it's Sundays at 9 p.m.
They have stations. That's because
right.
That's the point. The streaming platforms, it doesn't matter because no one cares to watch it at the same time. You're assuming everyone wants to watch something at 8 p.m. They don't care. They watch it when it's convenient for them. I watch the episode sometimes at 8 in the morning. That's convenient for me. And so it doesn't matter what time they release on a streaming platform. You still have that option to do that, Phil. You still have the option to watch it whenever you want to watch it.
Right, so who cares?
You can still watch it at midnight.
So do you. So do you. So who cares?
I want to watch it at 8 p.m.
So it will be released. So it will be released on the day it released on 8 p.m. because it's already released at midnight because that's the first moment of Tuesday it can be released. So you want to watch it Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
You say that's the first moment on Tuesday it can be released
because
that is arbitrary.
No, how is 12 midnight being the first time of a new day arbitrary?
Because why isn't it 12 Monday? Why isn't it 8 Monday? Why isn't it 7 o'clock?
Because
Monday,
because that's the day it's premiering. Why don't they just release everything not on a certain day? Because they choose a day to release it.
Right. So they have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? You have the best shows Sunday night, right?
Not always. Not always.
Almost always.
No, some shows on HBO. Some shows.
Stop.
No, not stop. There are shows on it every day.
Name your top
the number
five
one,
shows,
the
Phil.
number one
name
show.
Your top 5
Better
shows.
Call Saul's on Mondays. Was never been on Sundays. Mondays. Better Call Saul was on Mondays. Vikings was on Mondays.
I'm not at. That's one show.
That,
name 4
better,
more.
I could name a bunch more. How I Met Your Mother was on Tuesdays.
Right.
How I Met Your Mother was 90210 was on Wednesdays. Survivor's on Wednesdays.
Please,
Big Brother's another show that I watch at a different time period.
Please. Game of Thrones, Sopranos.
You're
Walking
naming
Dead
a very
when
you're naming a very small percentage of people's interest in shows.
Sunday premiere shows. The biggest shows are Sunday premiere shows.
Some shows.
It always has been Sunday
That's
night.
not when
That's
not
when
when
television. And if you deny
Sunday
that,
night's not the
Phil,
biggest
then-
night in
then
television.
Sunday night is the biggest night. in
Sunday
television.
night's not the biggest night in television.
Sunday night is the biggest night in television.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
no,
it
it is not the
Yes,
biggest
it
night in
is.
television.
Yes, it is.
Is not historically
Yes, it
the
is.
biggest night in television. It's the
always-
biggest night for some of these mainstream shows. You're trapped in like the style of shows that you like. Some people don't watch those kind of shows.
Sunday
Some
night
people
is the
watch
biggest night.
sitcoms. No, it used to be
Simpsons was a
Wednesday.
Sunday night
No,
show.
it used to be
Simpsons
Thursday.
was a Monday night
okay,
show.
the Cosby Show was Thursday night show. Cheers was Thursday night shows with number one shows on
Right,
television.
and they held down shitty nights.
Law and
they held
Order
down
Wednesday.
shitty
No, they were the
nights,
number one
dude.
shows in all of television. Different
Wednesday
nights.
nights.
Some nights are different shows. You're coming up with arbitrary day that you say Sunday's the greatest show because your favorite shows are on Sunday.
Friday night, Phil. Let's do it this way. Why don't they release it on Friday night? Why don't they release it on Saturday night?
Because those are the
Why
nights
don't they,
people are
Phil?
because people are out on those evenings. But working.
So there are bad nights. There
Yes.
aren't good nights. There's not the best night. And
And the
worst
best night is Wednesday night or Monday
No,
night.
it's Sunday night. It's
No,
Sunday
it's
night.
not Sunday
It's
night.
Sunday
Monday
night.
night is
It's
the
Sunday
highest
night.
rating thing because it's Monday night football.
So if it's Wednesday night, then why aren't they fucking dropping this shit on a Wednesday
Some
night?
do. Some do.
All right. So then why are we
Because
doing it at
what-
midnight?
Because
Phil?
that's what the show
Because
creator.
you don't
Why do
want
we
as
do
much
this on
people to
Sundays,
watch it as
Joe?
possible?
Why do we pick certain days to do things? Because certain networks
Because
want to
that's when
go
the
on certain
shows
days.
air.
Yeah, and that's when the shows air.
That's when all the best shows.
I don't
that-
even
that we've
understand what you're
basically done.
arguing. Like
I'm arguing why they don't put it on earlier. Why they drop it at midnight. Why they drop shit.
some
so late.
do. Some everyone releases at a different time.
They don't really though.
Yeah,
all
they
release
do.
it late. They do the midnight
No, they
shit.
don't. Some do at midnight. Some do at 8 o'clock. Some do
They
at
should
10
have
p.m.
8 o'clock
They should
premieres
all
or
release
7
at the
o'clock
time that's
premieres.
perfect for you. Basically, is what you're saying. They should all release at the time that's perfect for you.
How is that just perfect for me?
We have a voicemail. Listen
That's
to the voicemail.
that's yes because there are
No,
so
you're
many
assuming
people
that
awake
8
at
p.m.
midnight.
You're assuming that 8 p.m. is the best time for everybody, and it's not.
And how is that not better for more people than midnight?
yeah, they did
Who's
TV
awake at midnight? Most people aren't. Most people are complaining that
No,
their
but
football game or baseball game
You're-
is past 11.
You're
and they gotta
missing the
work in
point if you're
fucking
saying
morning.
I think I never said everyone's watching it at midnight. That's not the point at all. Anyways, let's listen to the voicemail.
According to Google, as long as you keep it in good condition, canned goods last for perpetuity. There's also the option of vacuum sealed foods and things like that. I mean, maybe maybe their fridge was still working somewhere. I don't know. All right, later.
And one more voicemail from Jay.
Joe, your argument is stupid. Your argument is that 12 midnight isn't the first part of Tuesday. They're saying they're going to release it Tuesday.
Okay, Jay,
at
stop
the
him,
first
stop him,
part,
stop him,
which is
stop him. Why then not 8 o'clock on Monday? Why not 8 o'clock at Monday? There you go.
Some do release
There
it
you
in.
go.
Why
So
not?
that's 4 hours.
Why not?
before
Why not
Tuesday.
Sunday? Why not 8 o'clock? Why not
midnight
midnight?
is the arbitrary time.
8 o'clock's your
because
arbitrary.
It's Tuesday.
8 o'clock's your
8
arbitrary
o'clock
time.
is timing.
Yeah,
so
that's an
that people
arbitrary
can-
time.
No. 8 o'clock is a time that people can watch it. Midnight is a time that less people can watch it.
You're
More
assuming
people have
you're
to be in
assuming
work.
you're assuming these streaming services give a shit if people watch it when it's first streams. They don't care. They
Are
don't
you kidding
care.
me?
They
Are
don't
you
care
kidding me?
about
They
premiere stuff.
absolutely care.
No, they don't.
They absolutely care.
No, they
Because-
don't.
Okay.
No, they don't.
care about- they don't
that
care
is
about
stupid.
weekend numbers.
Could you
They don't
could you
care
listen
about
for a second?
the
They
first
don't
week,
care.
The second week of numbers.
They care about
That's how-
long-term numbers on those
It's
streaming
canceled
platforms.
on
They
streaming.
Are you just going to talk over when I try to talk? No, that's not what they care about. They care about how many people watch it lifetime, how many clicks they get on. They don't care who watched it in the first 5 minutes it's released. They just don't care.
If that was the truth,
Netflix
then they
doesn't
wouldn't-
care.
then they wouldn't cancel the shows after one season because they didn't get the numbers.
They didn't get
in
the
first 2 weeks.
No, it's not the first
That's
2
what-
weeks. Fine, the first 2 weeks don't matter in the first 24 hours. I'll accept maybe it's the first 2 weeks, but you're saying it matters between 8 o'clock and midnight. What something's released, that's going to make the difference if something's a hit. I get what you're saying, that it would be nice if they release it at more of an appropriate time if they cared about premieres. But I think what the point that where we're separating here is, I don't think for even a fucking second these streaming platforms that don't have the networks give a shit if people watch it at the time it's released. They give a shit if people watch it within their week cycle of it being released. So if it's released at midnight, that's just because to them, yes, you're right, it's arbitrary. We're releasing this on a Tuesday, on September 23rd, and we're picking Tuesdays to release this. We're releasing it blank because that's what we pick. There's no rhyme or reason to it, even though I'd argue with you that Wednesdays are a better television night altogether than Sundays. But whatever, that's a different argument altogether. But like in this situation, I just don't believe that the streaming platforms care that people are watching it at premiere time. I don't think that's a metric that they follow. That, oh, everyone clicked on this exactly at midnight, that means this show is a hit. I don't think they give a shit about that. I think they give a shit how many numbers over a week that they get. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter if they release it at midnight. It doesn't matter if they release it at 8. So they might as well release it at the first time of the day that they decide to stream it, which is, we decided to pick this arbitrary number, Mondays, Tuesdays, so we release it on midnight at that time because that's the first moment, or 3 o'clock in the morning so we can pacify the West Coast so it doesn't get jumped.
For the weekly shows, when they release them like they do, they should release them earlier, not later.
Right. I get what you're saying by that.
It's different when you're dropping a whole series and or maybe a movie, right? Than it is when, okay, so you put up your first 3 episodes and then you're going to do a weekly release. If you caught enough people with those first 3 episodes, you want to release it at a time where they can watch it. Yes, they can always watch it at any time that's convenient to them. That's the beauty of streaming. But you want to also be able to release it at a time. If you're going to release it at Tuesday at midnight, most people are not going to see that and talk about it until Wednesday, right? So why wouldn't you release it so that they can talk about it at an earlier time? If you're going to have it released for Tuesday, have people already talking about it. Like, release it so that you can have an audience watch it and start talking about
that.
it.
I mean, that's a different topic altogether, which I agree with you. They've
like the water cooler talk. You take that away.
You don't get that as much
time
with stuff. And I mean, I think that's what they're trying to bring back with the weekly stuff. But now it's almost infuriating with the over analysis of like wanting to know what's going to happen before it actually happens, and like hunting down spoilers and hunting down all sorts of stuff. It becomes even more difficult to fight through that in some ways. I get what you're saying in the sense to release it at a time that is more convenient for people to be able to keep watching it. But I think it's the argument here for me is that people watch these things with no rhyme or reason now. It fits into their schedule. They watch it on their lunch breaks at work the next day. More than they sit down at 8 o'clock and tune into a time to watch a show right now. There's very few things that are appointment viewing for anybody right now, except for sporting events.
Part of that is due to how streaming, like, people sit down and watch TV. There's still like big audiences between certain hours of the day.
Jeopardy.
I'm sure if you looked at the graphs for streaming, there's hours in a day where streaming numbers go through the roof.
Have a good day, Nigger.
Compared to other hours of the day. This is when you should want to have that material hitting, not already sitting there waiting like it was something that, like that. Yeah, sure, they put it in front of all the lists. They give it a bigger banner and they advertise it like that. I feel like they're doing themselves a disservice by not releasing at a better time.
I hear what you're saying, but I think unfortunately those days are over. I think we live in a different age of adopting information, and people.
So those metrics still exist, though.
I don't know. I don't know if the quick watch time metric exists in the sense of maybe just how quickly people binge an entire series. I think Netflix might.
But here's the thing too. Like, when do most people work? Most people work between
now
in the daytime.
A lot of people work.
day hours are still the biggest hours. When the least amount of people work overnights, because that's when most people are sleeping. That's why everything in the fucking world is closed after 10 or 11 p.m. in most places, right? Like, why are you releasing stuff when people are in bed? That's what I'm saying. Like, people are actually in front of their televisions looking for something to stream 4 hours before you release it. And why wouldn't you release it 4 hours before that? Like, that's what doesn't make sense to me. I can understand.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but then like why?
But
I get what
waiting till midnight Tuesday. Why are we waiting till midnight?
Then why don't you do like? I get what you're saying, but that just makes me want to be like bitchy and be like, then why don't you just have midnight releases? You show them at fucking 8 p.m. that night instead of doing midnight releases when movies release on Tuesday. Then why don't you just do a different day? It's like, why do you even just have a day if you're just going to do the day before? Like, it's because they pick a day to release something on a streaming service. So I'm repeating myself. They release it on the first possible hour they can of that day.
Which is, it doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't.
And it makes sense to me because I feel
here's the reason too. Like,
I feel like people watch it in the movie.
We're going to sit on this for 4 months and wait to release it. It's already done. It's not like they put something in the can right now.
It depends the show.
And have to distribute it and all that shit. But
it depends the show.
When something's done, right? And then they have the advertising time, which usually starts before they finish a show. But like, there's a time period where they're not doing anything with it.
No.
Where it's just sitting there waiting to be released. And by picking Tuesday, okay, midnight at 12:01 a.m. It's dropping on all our systems. That's when we'll release it, and it will be up for primetime viewing on that day. Like, why aren't you putting it up?
Let's get into the live chat.
Primetime viewing that you can.
Let's get into the live chat a little bit and
3 months earlier,
and see what the chat has to say about some of this. Miss Belisa's water cooler talk is over, and that's more convenient for Joe to watch it. No, people have to catch up on shows. If they sit down at 7:30, they're watching something else, not the other show at 8. Lizard says they remove the shows at midnight and they add new shows and movies because it's when they can do updates to their systems without causing issues of higher counts of viewers. I would say they're thinking about their global audience, but that's definitely delays their international releases. I think most stuff is time zone selective, like releases generally, or within region selective. So sometimes like within the United States, things are released at midnight West Coast time. That's why a lot of stuff releases at 3 a.m. Sometimes I think it's East Coast, West Coast, Central separated. And I'm not sure. I'm ignorant to the way it works in other countries, so I'm not going to speak to it. But I get your point, Joe, about the way you watch something and the time you want to release it. But I still think, like, with the medium of which they have, it's, you pick a day and you just do it. So it makes sense to me in a weird, like, not even in a weird way. It makes sense to me that they release it at midnight because that's the first time that they can release it, and then I watch it. I plan on watching it the next day. But it's the thing, like with video games, like when you do midnight releases and people show up at the midnight release and you have to wait in line. It's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 11:54, and you're still waiting in line. They won't open that door until fucking midnight. And it pisses you off but then why not release the game the day early? But like
but that line doesn't exist like every theater isn't open to do that.
Some theaters,
like the 12 cinema theater, they'll do it. The 6 one, no. Like the one cinema in a 20-mile radius will do it, but like in an area like where we have so many cinema, right? They don't all do a release like that. It's a special event. They're not all going to be able to make their money, but just
a few do. We have Are you ready for one more voicemail from Jay here?
Yes.
Hey, Joe, with the argument of they're gonna wait 4 months and then not release and then not release it, why don't they just have like the production done, and then they go right to airing or whatever. They always
That's what I
have
said at the end. That's what I
release
said at the
dates.
end. So,
Like and they're always then everything is like arbitrary. Like who doesn't have?
Yes,
who doesn't,
Jay.
what?
Exactly. This is the point I made. You are repeating everything I just said. You have just repeated everything I just said at the end of what I said. Yet that's correct. If you pick an arbitrary date and then your arbitrary
luck, Jay.
time is at midnight, right? So if you pick the arbitrary date, why not make it 8 p.m.? And if you're gonna do it at midnight, why not do it 4 hours earlier? You're picking arbitrary whatever. Why not do it at a time that's actually fucking convenient for people? Yes, why not? Once it's canned, fucking drop it. If it's canned at 4 a.m. and done, and the guy says, this is the final fucking product, boss man. Here you go, AMC, HBO, whoever the fuck it is. This is the end. I got no more editing. The sound is done. The actors have all gone home. The lights have been fucking shut off. Here's the product. All right, load it to the fucking computers. Go, boys. Yes, why not do that if you're just an arbitrary fucking time? Midnight on December 9th is the day that we're going to release it. Like, what the fuck? Yes, exactly, Jay. Exactly. Thank you. Do it at a fucking time that's fucking reasonable for most people that live on the fucking planet. Not the one thing that's actually tuned to my way of life. You're saying more convenient for Joe. No, not more convenient for Joe. Joe's at work at 8 p.m. Joe gets home at like 11 o'clock.
Who are you talking about now? Who's Joe? Wait. Who's this Joe?
Yeah, right? I'm primed to watch
you.
television at midnight and play video games until 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. This isn't more convenient for me. This is more convenient for all of you. Let's have it drop at
Joe's trying to help us.
At a normal fucking time so you can watch it.
Joe's trying to help us now. Now let's listen to the end of
God,
Jay's.
thank you, Jay. Thank you. You are so
something
correct.
like that. Like you're saying, it takes 4 months for them to make it, and then they're gonna wait however long to release it. Well, why don't they just make every episode and then release it like right after they finish?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, and he finishes up here.
Why did you arbitrarily pick that sweatshirt to wear? Because you liked it? Everything is arbitrary, okay? Very little things have
because
like
I like it. That's not arbitrary. That's taste. That's what I decided to wear. I decided because actually it wasn't too arbitrary. I was cold, so I wanted something warm to wear, and then I had a choice between what sweatshirts I wanted to wear, and I was like, I like this red one. That's why I bought it. Not because I didn't close my eyes at the store and go, I'll take this one and this one. And hope I got ones I like.
Them in which you do them, okay? They pick the date they're releasing it. That's what they're supposed to do, okay? That's their job as a company, as a production company. They're supposed to pick dates for their things to be released, and they release them. That's why they did it that day, okay? Because they like that date. Because if someone said they were like, you know what, we should do it then.
I don't know what you're yelling about,
okay.
Jay.
They were like, yeah, we should do it then. The same reason why you picked that damn sweatshirt. Same reason why
because I liked it. I just
you
explained all that. Your analogy is faulty, Jay.
Everything has an arbitrary reason, okay?
No. Arbitrary means without reason.
Stupid.
Arbitrary, I'm pretty sure means without reason, right? Like you have a reason, or you don't. I had reasons for this. They have reasons for the date they pick. I liked what somebody wrote in the chat. It was actually, let's see here. A Lizard, they remove shows at midnight. They add shows because it's when they can do updates to their system without causing issues to a higher view count. That's reasonable. You want less traffic on your site, maybe to load things and download things. Maybe it makes things run smoother. If something crashes,
for updates,
you have time to fix it before there's millions of people trying to watch or whatever. Sure, I can kind of understand that being a reason, but if your shit is people are wanting to watch it and people are looking forward to it and all that, like, and again, yeah, no shit. The date they pick is the date they pick. I'm sure they have reasons for the date they pick, which is why they don't just put it in a can and release it. But as far as the timing and when most people can get to watch it, you should want to maximize that. Period.
Out of everything that you said tonight, the thing I agree with the most is, I think in some ways the way, and I think historically the way they decide when television shows are going to air is a little arbitrary. It's like it's just guessing. It's like, oh,
not true, because of sweeps week, right? You know that.
Yeah, no, those are no sweeps week. Wait, Joe, sweep weeks are when certain shows air their best episodes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you have shows that you decide, oh, I'm going to premiere the premiere of Seinfeld in April instead of March because I feel like April is a better time period for that. Or we're going to put Raising Hope on Wednesday nights right after American Idol and get a great audience for it. But now, you know what? Even though it has a great audience and is doing real well, we're going to put it to Thursdays now and at 9:30.
That kind of stuff is they have, I'm sure, all sorts of readouts
and it's bullshit. That's the bullshit
there's
stuff.
Also, like, fall is definitely when all the kids are back in school and everybody kind of gets back on that same thing. There's a reason why all the studios.
September's the beginning of television season.
Right, big things.
There's a reason why summer is blockbuster movie season, and you don't get new series in the summer times. But again, we're talking about a somewhat of an antiquated model in the sense of like the way
and that's what I'm saying. It's not that antiquated.
It is because people are watching their TV more on the go, and even if they're going out and about, they're watching shows on their fucking phones or on fucking their watches or their fucking and
if you're
driving.
Going to release it, less people are awake to watch it immediately at midnight than are at 8 p.m.
Yeah, and maybe in your world.
And like I said, no, in my world,
I'm kidding.
Me and my wife are both up at midnight.
Yeah, so am I.
All those people that want to say it's more convenient for me to be at 8
we all don't go to bed at 8:30 like you do.
Right? There's a reason why we haven't been doing this show on Sunday nights consistently for the last 4 years.
because you've been working
overnights and every other Sunday and now evenings, but now I have every Sunday off, but I still work evening shift. Like, I'm still awake. I sleep until I have to get up and go to work.
I love how this whole argument, and we got one last message from Jay. We'll play a little bit of it. It's a long one. We'll see where this goes. I love how both of us showed 10 billion times more passion talking about this particular subject than we did about anything about The Walking Dead tonight. Where it's like we finally we both woke up.
Even Jay.
Yeah, even Jay. Yeah, Jay's like, I don't have anything to say about The Walking Dead tonight, but I'm getting passionate about this fucking subject. Fucking shit.
And I'll tell Joe to go fuck himself over this for sure.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Here we go, Joe.
Joe, you can't have a show that is literally a recap of another show, basically at this point talking about how shitty the show is gotten, and then saying, hey, why aren't you releasing it faster? You have all these fans wanting to watch this shit because it's so great. You can't make those two arguments.
No, I'm not making that argument for this show.
No, we're not talking about The Walking Dead. But they are, in fairness, Jay, to Joe's point, even though I don't agree with most of it, they are doing that with The Walking Dead. They're releasing the whole episode a week ahead of time. They're basically doing what Joe wants. They're giving him. If you wanted, you could have watched this episode. In fact, I have to tell the truth about something. This is the first time.
You already watched it?
I watched it before tonight. I watched it. Yeah. I watched it on Monday, actually.
I knew because you were playing PlayStation.
Oh, you saw it? No, I watched it on the PlayStation because I watched it on the browser from shady websites.
And here's the thing.
How do you know if you could see me? You were watching it on the PlayStation.
I know I had it. I have the app.
Okay.
But HBO does it right, as far as I know. Right, like when a show, they have shows that come out. Like Game of Thrones dropped at 8 p.m., right? 9 p.m. was its airtime, right? And it was available to watch on HBO Go and HBO Now streaming at that moment.
Yeah, but I said that earlier too, and you made a good point. That's because those are network slash stuff. Netflix doesn't have a channel to do that. To
Right.
have
Netflix doesn't have a channel to
or
do
doesn't
that,
even
and
stream
they don't
live.
advertise that much either.
Neither
on
does
other
Amazon. Neither does Amazon.
platforms.
Like if we're talking,
but they can, because they do have
Hulu.
a large audience of people. They can compete like that, and they can take more away from the networks if they did that. If they made a deal about launching.
So you're saying you want Netflix?
Times.
So you're saying you want Netflix or Hulu or Amazon to launch a physical terrestrial station where they premiere their stuff live as well?
No, what I'm saying is if they advertised more, our premieres come out at 8 p.m. and shit like that, right? Or even on their own platforms, like watch at 8, like at all these banners, drops at 8, new episode at 8, whatever.
You
right?
really like 8 p.m.
Well, that's the prime time, right? 7, whatever.
No, it's 8.
6.
It's 8.
Right.
It's 8.
Like, you'll take audience away from network televisions and cable stations.
But you don't. But at
even greater.
At this point, there isn't any network or cable stations anymore. Every one of the cable stations and networks now have apps, and they do exactly what HBO does, where they stream their station from the app. Because so many people have cut the cords that the only way that they watch their network television is through. What is it, like Pluto TV or Paramount Plus app, or the NBC Plus app, or the Fox app.
You're taking away a option for people, right? What you do by not doing that, by not putting yourself in compete mode at that, right?
I don't. But
for the premieres,
what are they trying to
premieres? Like, if you don't put yourself in that compete mode, you take away the option for me to watch your thing, instead of that thing.
Before we go,
now,
I want to unpack this, Joe.
Yes, I will watch my shit later, but you take away the opportunity for me to watch their shit later.
Joe, I want to give you
know what I'm saying?
I want to understand / give the benefit of the doubt of trying to understand what you're saying. So what exactly do you want them to do? You want, say, Netflix, when, say, Cobra Kai is coming out in December or January or something. Let's just pick an arbitrary date because I don't know what it is. They announced it. Let's say December 1st, whatever.
Sure, December 1st.
So you're saying you want them to 8 p.m. You want them to advertise. Johnny Lawrence comes out. You think Cobra Kai comes out at midnight? That's for pussies. We're going to do 8 p.m. Everyone tune in to 8 p.m. Blah, blah, blah. See me kick Daniel Lewis's ass.
And market it like this, Phil. We're not coming out at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Right? Or midnight on Tuesday when it turns 12:01 Tuesday morning. No, we're coming out at 8 o'clock on Monday.
So why not release it at midnight? And I would say, why not midnight on Monday?
So why not release it? Because you're not competing with the other shows.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to go back.
Because anybody that still likes those other shows that didn't get to see those shows can still stream those shows also at midnight.
Joe, it's fine.
But what you're doing is you're taking away the opportunity for me to watch your show instead of their show during prime time. I now have to wait till midnight.
I hear what you're saying, okay, but again, I don't want to retread what we were saying before. I don't think there is that matters as much anymore when people are watching these streaming stuff, but that's a different argument. I'm just trying to understand what you want. So here we go. As December 1st,
I just want good television.
No, I know. Besides that,
when I want to stream it, but at least at 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
No, I'm trying. This is what I'm trying to understand. So they're announcing Cobra Kai is coming out December 1st. They decide to say no. Actually, fuck you. We're gonna do it at 8 p.m. the day before, for a little gift premiere. Everyone tune in at 8 p.m. and watch it. And you want just that they promote that premiere.
I never said anything like even like
I just wanted to understand how you want them to promote the premiere.
Okay. Why would you even mention fucking midnight? Why is midnight even being mentioned in it?
Because that's the first time
of the day.
It's 8 o'clock.
No. It comes out at 8.
Okay.
That's the first time in the day, Phil. That's the first time in the day that you get to watch the fucking thing is 8 p.m. Not midnight. There is no fucking midnight. Midnight doesn't fucking exist because it's 8 p.m. Right? You're saying 8 p.m. doesn't exist because 12:01 a.m. is when it comes out. You want them to wait 6
I didn't say that. All I was trying to...
Well, if it's 12:01...
Is this what's going to happen when I try to...
Why not again? Once it's fucking canned, release it at
All all I was trying to
arbitrary
do is get you to
goddamn fucking time.
Joe, all I was trying to do is
advertise
get you
the
to
fuck
explain.
We release shit at 8 p.m. at the normal fucking time people watch television.
All I wanted
What
to
the
get you
fuck?
to do is explain what the hell you wanted, and you had a conniption, so it's cool.
I'm not. You said so. What you want, Joe? You didn't say explain what you want. You said so. What you're saying, Joe, and I never said anything.
Right. So I was
about
asking
saying,
you. You could have corrected me without like going nutty there.
Oh no, you wanted me nutty. You want me on that nut. You need me on that nut.
I don't know about that. Everyone, we'll be back next week for more of this nonsense. So, and please jump in the comment section. Leave your thoughts on this topic or in The Walking Dead, what you thought of the season finale. As always, we appreciate you guys. Appreciate the live chatters. Appreciate the super chatters. We'll be back. Yeah, exactly. Upbound says, we got it. We got it. No midnight. Dworkin says,
what does midnight have to do with it?
Dworkin says Joe's on tilt. We're trying to get out of here before Joe loses all his money. Jesse says, just drop it. Drop it.
Listen, that would raise the cost of marketing service. Not if you're just marketing it on your own channel like you do now anyway. You don't see ad
Joe's mic is down. He thinks he can.
over the place, and Netflix shows all over. It's a banner when you go on Netflix. Oh look, Squid Games. Who the fuck heard of Squid Games before it hit? Banner. You know, come on. No, but there it was. But if they advertised, if they told you that it was coming and it was going to be released at 8 p.m. in one of those fucking banners that they flashed over the last 2-3 months knowing that they were going to drop it anyway, maybe you'd have watched it at 8 p.m. instead of some other bullshit that you watched on network television.
Or midnight, says the real YT.
Or midnight. Yes, Whitey.
That is true. We'll be back at midnight. I mean 8 p.m. next week. Actually, what's funny?
We're gonna do our next show at midnight.
No, you bet your ass we're doing it at 8 p.m. next week. We're not doing it after a show.
Oh, nice.
We'll talk to you guys next week at 8. Later.